Welcome to the Black Doctor Collective podcast. We as Black doctors are in a unique position. We can change our communities, healthcare, and the world. Of course, we start by changing the way we see and value ourselves. I'm your host, Dr. Shanika Horn, pediatrician and physician coach, travel extraordinaire. I am so happy to have you here and listening. So let's get into it. Hello, good people. Welcome back to the Black Doctor Collective podcast. I want to reflect on everything that's happened over the last 3 months, and I'm trying to teach my brain to evaluate things so that I don't see them as flukes. If you have a success and you don't spend time thinking about how you got there and how you've made it possible, it's really easy to chalk things up to luck or happenstance or the favor of God, which, let me tell you, it's still the favor, but there's usually a process that we're following in order to be successful and in order to get things done. And if we don't look at that, then we discount very easily how we got to a particular place. That said, last week I went on a trip, which is par for the course for me. I've told y'all I have a trip planned every month for the first 6 months of the year, much to the chagrin of my financial advisor. But I went on a trip with my business coach and we stayed at the W. She planned this amazing, beautiful retreat. The retreat was to come in for a couple days. Wednesday, we fly in, we do dinner Wednesday night. We did a full day of coaching on Thursday. And then on Friday, we had a breakfast and then people departed. Of course, this is exactly my kind of trip, right? I love a luxury hotel. I love investing in myself. I love being in containers of Black women physicians who are also of the same vein, have the same mission. It's just nice being in that space. It is one of the things that fills my cup. So I love a good retreat. I'm a retreat queen, okay? I have been to a lot of retreats in the past 2 years that help me just build on who I am and what I'm doing. And so this was perfect for me. One thing I realized though, when I'm on vacation, it's like a different lifestyle. And the reason it's a different lifestyle is because I am so good at pampering myself and getting somebody else to do it. I will ask for all the support, all the services. And then I come back home and I wonder why I'm not excited or I'm eagerly counting down to the next vacation. It is because I don't always live the way I should in my regular life. And somehow I have decided it's okay to do that on vacation, but it's not okay to do that at home. And therefore, life just doesn't have that same quality all the time. And of course, nothing has the same quality all the time. I get that. Things are glamorous sometimes. My house is not a hotel. I mean, it could be. It could be very similar to one though, right? I think it's just really important to evaluate what works for you in a setting that genuinely brings you joy and is fulfilling and how to integrate that into your life in a meaningful way. And so I started thinking about the fact that I happily delegate things to other people when I'm on vacation because I'm like, oh, I'm in a hotel. This is the expectation. This is their job. And so I started looking back over the last couple months. I started thinking about all the ways that I've started to shift my responsibilities or tasks that I specifically don't need to do to my virtual assistant, to her team. That's actually what's going to make me more rested, more successful, more fulfilled, is not just doing the busy things. I'm willing to bet that if you're the kind of person that does everything for yourself at home, all of the housekeeping, all the cooking, all the laundry, all the tasks that need to be done around the house for your husband, your spouse, your partner, whoever, for the kids, for your parents, for your pets. I mean, I guess the pets can't really do it for themselves, but if you're the person that does all of the things, you're also the kind of person that does the same thing at work because that's the energy you're in regardless as to the environment. So at work, you're probably picking up tasks that could be done by the medical assistant, whoever's on the front desk, staff, the nurses. You're picking up responsibilities that can be done by someone else on staff other than you. I have found myself in that position multiple times, trying to solve problems that are either outside of my scope, not what I'm supposed to be doing. I shared this last year about, being in a being on a locums assignment, them not having a good efficient schedule, blocking my schedule by accident and not unblocking it so that they could schedule patients for me for a particular day. And I just decided it's just not my responsibility. My MA was losing it. She was running around trying to figure out what's going on, how to unblock the schedule. Oh my God, we don't have patients. And I was like, girl, sit down. If you or I get a day off or get a break because someone's job was not done, then that's on them. That's not on us. There's always this thing, especially as a physician, this need to just fix a problem, to fill a gap, to do all the things, to wear all the hats. I hear physicians all the time talking about how the places that they work in are understaffed and how they've taken on more, they see more patients, and they're just doing a lot of stuff. They're doing a lot of paperwork. They're doing a lot of administrative tasks. We just don't need to be doing all that. And so I also think that the amount of time it's taking you to do those things is directly impeding you from pursuing and achieving your dream for two reasons. One is you're exhausted. When I was doing all the things, I was tired. I even had this in my business. In this last quarter, in my business, I have shifted a lot. My virtual assistant was already supporting me in social media, helping me do these things, but I had not fully delegated things like even editing the podcast. Hey, ladies, editing the podcast, you guys are real ones. I appreciate everything you're doing for me. Thank you. Because taking that off my plate means that I get to spend more time creating in my business and responding to the needs of my clients and basically working to the highest potential I have. And the same thing applies in clinic. If I can work as a physician and not be doing the jobs of the nurse, the MA, the CEO, the manager, the scheduler, then my focus gets to be on the patient and it gets to be on the quality of care. I get to be good at the thing that I'm good at. So in my job with my virtual assistant and her full team, I get to focus on running the business and doing things and making decisions that no one else can do for me. There's just parts of the business that I have to do for myself. And they're each entrepreneurs, so they fully understand that there are parts of their business they also need to do just for themselves. So just this concept of delegating is something that I am really leaning into this season. And it has been hard, okay? Because delegation requires trust. I have to trust that someone else can execute my vision in the way that I want it executed. I have to release perfectionism because I can tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak, right? I know exactly what I want. I know exactly how I want things to be, to look, to sound. And I will edit it within an inch of its life sometimes. Some of my products that I'm putting out, social media, emails, podcasts, there's a lot of creativity required in running my business. Realizing that I can just have the vision, share it with a team, and then give them feedback. I am learning how to also give feedback in a way that allows the quality of my work to still shine in exactly the way I want it to without me having to be the only person to do it. This is just a lesson I need to learn, and it's a great time to learn it for me, is the who, not the how. Who is going to be the best person for the job? So at some point working with my VA, I'm appreciative that there are other people that might be able to do a better job than I can, or at least execute it in the way that I see it for myself. That's really important. Another one of the things I had to get over was expenses, money, right? Whenever I think about hiring people, whether it's my financial advisor, the accountant, the VAs, all of the staff, all the people that I need to support me, I think about the money. I grew up without expendable income for sure. We covered the necessities, right? So everything was covered. I was comfortable. I know it's not like I wasn't hungry. My lights never went off. I even had a few luxury things, like I got my first cell phone at 16, but spending money on support services, on staff, was absolutely not a thing that we did. I never had a housekeeper growing up. No one else did any of the things that we did everything ourselves. I was the dishwasher in the house. I helped sort all the laundry, do the laundry, right? Everything that had to be done in the house was done by the people in the house. It's a new concept to me to outsource, to trust other people. And that's just really the season I'm in. So in the last few months, I mentioned leaning heavily on my virtual assistant, Ashley, and her team to execute the vision. That was one of the major changes I had to make because I was really bogging myself down with doing a whole bunch of tasks that someone else could do, and maybe they might even do better than me. And that's just what it is. I also hired my first financial advisor and have been working with him for some months. Listen, that's one of the best decisions I made. I debated hiring a financial advisor for a long time. I actually had one in residency and he was terrible. And I got some bad advice for him that resulted in me having to pay back taxes in a time where I did not have cash flow, which is like residency. There's not a lot of extra cash just to be doing things, especially an unexpected expense of like $7,000 or $8,000. And so after that, I felt like, oh, this is exactly why you can't trust the people. I love that thought, right? Like nobody can do it like I can, and all of that. It was that very much that energy. But I got this referral from one of the women actually that I just recently went on this trip with, of a financial advisor. And he has been so explanatory to me. He's really teaching me things. And part of that was I really need to show up and admit that I didn't know anything. I think as a doctor, I have an expectation that no matter what room I'm in, people automatically think I'm smart. And so they think I'm smart on all the things. And I feel like I have a pressure to show up that way. So when I first met with my financial advisor, I had to coach myself into being open and honest about the fact that like I didn't understand some of the words he was saying. What I don't know the difference between a Roth IRA and a regular IRA or SEP IRA. There were just so many acronyms. We were talking about retirement funds, different types of disability or life insurance. There's so many things, avenues towards wealth building that I just did not understand. I had ideas, concepts. I'd probably read some blogs about it. But that stuff is really foreign to me. And we do not learn that kind of wealth building, finances in medical school or any of our training, to be frank. I had a block both on spending the money, and then I had a block about exposing myself to someone to say, like, I don't know and I need your help and guidance. So, two different things I had to overcome to hire my financial advisor. Let me tell you, I had a meeting this morning with him. Actually, today was one of our monthly meetings. And I came to that meeting like, you told me to create these accounts. I did that. I'm definitely not using them the way I'm supposed to. Like, I have not started this vacation fund. I'm just still spending on vacations out of my whatever money. Like, I'm just pulling money and spending money. And I feel completely out of control, especially because this is a big birthday year for me. I have 2 huge birthday trips coming up. One with my bae. Yeah, I have a vacation coming up. And then one with my college friends who are all turning the same age. And we usually travel together every year. And so this year we decided that the trip would be dedicated towards our birthday. I mean, it's our usual travel crew, our usual travel plans. Last year we went to Italy. We've been to Tulum. We've been every year we have a trip. I was feeling like I'm just spending. And he really just broke it down for me how to make sure I can afford all these things and also to forgive myself and enjoy myself and know that it's all still part of a plan. So it's just another example for me that sometimes spending money is the key to making money. And we know that it's like you got to spend money to earn money or something. There's like sentiments around that, but I don't know that I understood that in practicality, to be real. I understood that I needed to spend money on investments, but investing in people has actually been one of the better deals because I get time back. So every time I think I'm afraid to spend money, I'm actually losing money because I was afraid to spend money with getting a financial advisor, and this man is literally helping me get my stuff together, eliminate change the way I use my credit cards because I just be swiping, and he's teaching me how to wealth build, which I definitely didn't know how to do despite teaching myself how to invest in stocks. I didn't teach myself. I took a course on investing in stock markets and how to do day trading and long-term trading. I've read lots of blogs about real estate investing. I've read lots of articles about IRAs and retirement funds. I still didn't know how to do that and to make that a plan personal to me. So the point of this is you should have a team. You should have an accountant. You should have a financial advisor. At home, you should have whatever you need to make your house run that doesn't require you to do it. Like a housekeeper, you could pay for a laundry service because what you're trying to do is free up your time and free up your energy. Everyone talks about they want to have time for hobbies. They want to spend more time with their kids, their family members. They want to travel more. Hiring people actually makes that more feasible. You think it's the other way around because you're like, oh, I could be saving that money to go on the trip. But you're constantly saving. You're not creating any additional funds and you're not creating additional time and you're just tired. And now your vacation becomes an escape from your life instead of a part of your life. You're using it to get away. It's why every week you got the Sunday scaries. Oh, you got to go to work. You're just so exhausted. How did the weekend go by so fast? It's because you're doing things you're not supposed to be doing. I'm guilty of it. My coach literally always calls me out. She'll give an example to someone. She could be coaching someone else. Like literally today we were on a coaching call and she was like, you should get your team to do X, Y, and Z. She was talking to another client and she's like, that also applies to you, Shanika. And I'm like, I know, because I was writing it down same time. It is hard for me to delegate. It really is. I have operated, it worked for me for a long time. It really served a purpose for me in my life for a long time. That is how I got to where I am today. I was doing everything myself. I was proud of doing everything myself. Nobody gave me a handout. I was bootstrapping. That's like the American dream, right? The mission is that you could do everything for yourself. That's the way to be successful. That's the route to success, is I can do it all myself. That's a lie. Most of those people that say that probably started out with $1 million trust fund. Let's be real. But really, when I start thinking about my dream life does not involve me struggling and doing everything myself. It just doesn't make sense. It's not feasible. It's not sustainable. And how do I build a business and manage my clinical schedule and do all these things without support? At some point, I'm going to hit a cap and I will not be able to go any further than where I am. I know so many physicians who talk about that they want their money to make money, but also simultaneously not be willing to hire a financial advisor. And that was me. That person is literally, their job is literally to tell you how to make that money. And I have delayed that so many times. And I think about, I don't want to be the person who in 20 years is like, oh, I missed the opportunity to create my retirement fund. And I didn't do all the things because I didn't know what to do. So I just never did it. And now I don't have money, or I'm worried about retirement, or I missed opportunities to have the maximum amount of investment. I don't want to be that person. The time is now. If you haven't done it, you're not behind. This is the time, because next year you will think about how you could have done it last year. I think about how much time I lament about having not invested in like certain stocks or certain programs back in the day, things that I genuinely knew about, and I just didn't do it because I didn't know how. I didn't see the direct path to wealth building. And that's my financial advisor's job, to paint the picture for me. I don't need to see it. I don't need to understand how. Somebody else does, and they're going to teach me. And they're going to walk me through it and provide that support continuously. I don't want to talk about in 10 years how I missed an opportunity to put my money in a income generating account. So I'm going to do that now. Trying to scrimp on costs at this stage isn't helping me. I've been doing that for years and I literally have not been able to make the kind of progress I need to make. So I think the vision and the reflection for this quarter is that I have started delegating in my life, both personally with my financial advisor, with a new accountant that I have, and in my business with the virtual assistant and her full team taking on a lot of the tasks that I did alone last year, and clinically acknowledging when I don't want to fill the gap from a clinic being understaffed or trying to do tasks that someone else should do. I'm okay with minding my business and sitting at the computer and letting other people figure it out. There's only so much success I can have alone. I'm now at the stage where I'm learning to trust in others, to rely on others, and seeing how that's really what I need to take me to the next step. So, if you have not hired anybody to support you, like even if you have some mind drama around it, I would say even start small, right? I paid for a laundry service when I was doing my locums assignment, and it was so nice to just hand that woman my laundry bag of scrubs and have her call me the next day, and everything was like fresh and folded. It was amazing. And I thought about how much time I saved in not having to go downstairs and try to use the hotel laundry. Like in the time that she was doing my laundry, I did things for my business. I was furthering my own path and my own dream. And sometimes you need to start small just to see the win, just to see the direct effect of doing that thing. Whether it's a housekeeper, whether it's a laundry service, whether it's some kind of food service. Invest in something just so you can see how much energy and time it has saved you, so that you can start to feel comfortable investing in the next thing and maybe something bigger that will bring you more money or more time freedom. The goal of everything is time freedom. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for me. I'm learning how to do that. I didn't think it was going to be hard. Honestly, I love the sentiment of get somebody else to do it. I did not think I was going to have to convince myself to let other people do for me what I'm used to doing for myself. That is a new lesson. Delegating, trusting, new lessons. And that's the season. So we talk a lot about soft life. Soft life requires delegation, and it requires you to outsource and spend the money to get things done. And when you are not tired, you will be amazed at how creative you feel, how much time and energy you can put into the things that you really love. And that is when your life starts to feel more like the vacation that you have pedestalized. Yeah, that's the lesson of the quarter. So I plan to continue to do that, to maintain that same energy through the next quarter of the year. So April through June, I have a lot of trips coming up. I have my vacation. I have another coaching retreat with my coach, a different format, but similar, also international. And then my international trip with my college friends. Those are going to be great. And then I have a lot of things coming up in my business. You guys will shortly hear about, I don't know if I'm going to call it masterclass webinar, but it's contract secrets, everything people don't want you to know that I'm planning. It's going to come up, but I have time to do that now because I've offloaded things from my plate, and it's allowing me to be creative and think about what I want for you guys as my audience, as my clients. Yeah, so let me know one thing that you're interested in offloading. I'm really curious. I love when you guys share these things with me. I know I got one of my clients doing HelloFresh now because she's offloading grocery shopping. She don't want to, and I love that for her. I have clients who are just offloading various tasks in their life, hiring. And that's just part of creating that life. That everyone you see that's having a great, successful, beautiful, picturesque life is outsourcing. They all have help. I love that. We need help. And if we lived in another country, help would be part of the culture. America and this do everything yourself is toxic. We're not doing that no more. This is why America is not all that it's cracked up to be, and why the new flex is moving out of America, because you could live in another country and having help, affording help would just be a natural part, and you would have so much more time and you would be so much more relaxed. And that's why those things also appear really luxurious to you. So I'm over here with my Instacart ordering groceries because I don't do that anymore. I am over here delegating to my VA and her team. I am asking for support from my advisors, from my coaches, and that's really what's going to make the difference. So I want to hear what you plan to do and what's going to make the difference for you. Think about it, share it with me. I really want to hear the answers to this because I think it's going to be so fascinating. All right, have a good week. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to the podcast. And what I want you to do next is link us everywhere you can. Instagram at The Black Doctor. Just become part of our collective. I want you here. Thanks. Until next time. Bye.